Are you feeling insecurities or wondering if you're behind on your retirement savings? A staggering 55% of Americans surveyed stated that they felt they could not achieve financial security in retirement, according to a recent survey by the National Institute on Retirement Security. Hey everyone, Gabe Galanti here, fiduciary financial advisor, owner and CEO at Rockline Wealth Management. Over the last 12 years, I've had the opportunity to work with hundreds of families on their financial and retirement planning. And today, I'm going to go over 4 strategies that you can consider using to turbocharge your retirement savings. And be sure to stick around to the end, where I'm going to go over a strategy for those of you that have the majority of your savings in pre-tax retirement accounts. The first strategy I want to speak about today brings to mind Harlan Sanders, the founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken. As the story goes, Harlan had a variety of jobs throughout his lifetime, eventually settling in as a manager at a restaurant, which is where he started to create his famous blend of herbs and spices. Unfortunately, along his journey, Harlan faced a major setback. A new highway was constructed which allowed drivers to completely bypass his restaurant. The result of this was pretty terrible. Ultimately, Harlan was forced to close up shop. This outcome caused Harlan to make what many would have considered a risky decision. He decided to trek cross-country and pitch his new idea and spices to restaurant after restaurant. At this point, in his 60s, Harlan finally caught a lucky break, and he came to form what we know today as Kentucky Fried Chicken. Harlan's persistence later in life is a testament to the quote, "The harder you work, the luckier you get." And this brings me to my first strategy. No matter how tough the times get, consider making catch-up contributions to your retirement account. After the age of 50, you're able to save above and beyond the typical contribution limits of various retirement accounts. Pushing yourself to put away more money, even if it potentially constricts your cash flow in the immediate and might not feel so great, could have a very big impact on your retirement plan. If you want to take a minute to look at various projections as far as changing your savings rates and different outcomes in retirement, please check the link below in the description for our retirement savings calculator. The next strategy I want to talk about brings to mind Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella. Nadella first joined Microsoft in 1992 and eventually worked his way up the ladder to become CEO in 2014. At the point that he took the reins, many might have considered Microsoft to be in the more mature stages of the company and falling fairly stagnant as far as growth and innovation. Stuck in their ways and neglecting to make the decision that it was time to go in a new direction, Satya Nadella decided that it was time for change. He made a strategic shift to a path lesser known at the time, which was to go all in on pursuing the cloud. Along with charging forward in this new direction, Satya Nadella also decided that it was time for a cultural change. These 2 major shifts ultimately allowed Microsoft to make a charge back to becoming an industry leader once again. Sometimes, taking the route lesser known can lead to positive outcomes, which brings me to my second strategy. Consider saving in a non-retirement oriented account to help build your savings, which can complement your retirement accounts in retirement. Despite the fact that a non-retirement account might not benefit from some of the features associated with a pre-tax or Roth account, it's still another method of saving in another bucket geared towards retirement. In addition, a non-retirement account might not have the same restrictions that a pre-tax or Roth account would, so you could use those funds prior to age 59 and a half if need be. The third strategy I want to talk about today has been gaining major popularity in my discussions recently. For this strategy, I want to pay tribute to the late great Kobe Bryant. If you're not familiar with Kobe and his work ethic, he was a star on the Los Angeles Lakers for the better part of 2 decades. Over the course of Kobe's career, he won 5 NBA championships, he earned gold medals for the U.S. men's basketball team twice, and he was an 18-time NBA All-Star. Despite all the fame, Kobe continued to go above and beyond behind the scenes. He was actually known very well by his teammates for waking up early and completing entire workouts prior to the team arriving at facilities to train for the day. This brings me to my third strategy. If your employer plan allows, consider making after-tax contributions. If you've already maximized your contributions for the year, after-tax contributions could be a great complement to put away more money. A couple of specifics for those of you who are not aware of after-tax accounts: earnings grow tax-deferred, and earnings are taxed as income when withdrawn from the account. One potential enticing caveat is that contributions to an after-tax account may be able to be converted to a Roth IRA, in which case earnings grow tax-free and withdrawals are tax-free as well. This next strategy I want to talk about might be a little different from the others, but still geared towards retirement nonetheless. If you've gone through any type of planning for retirement up to this point, you may have had a discussion that medical expenses can actually be one of the highest yet most underrated expenses in retirement. Despite using Medicare, additional health-related expenses can add up over time, especially if you might require care in the home or at a skilled nursing facility, which I certainly would not consider to be inexpensive. To add on to the discussion about contributing to multiple buckets of money is my fourth strategy, and that is to consider contributing to an HSA or a health savings account. Contributions to HSA accounts are made with pre-tax money, any earnings grow tax-free, and as long as the expenses paid are for qualified medical costs, the money comes out tax-free as well. HSAs can be used for a number of things, including paying for Medicare premiums or even premiums for long-term care insurance. A key part to the puzzle in figuring out how much you can save is fully understanding your budget. So take a minute to check out our next video here on proactively budgeting for retirement.